The absence of this knowledge alone has destroyed marriages, ended friendship, caused problems between business associates. I had a guy walk up to me recently. Let's call him Steve. Good day, sir. I want to tithe 50 million to this church. Steve, I admire your devotion, but how did you get 50 million? Remember that venture capitalist company I was soliciting for investment? Yes. They finally approved my funding. Let me get this straight. You want to tithe a tenth of someone's money or a funding that was given to you for your business? Yes. I smiled. I said, Steve, and whenever you're trying to help people out, you have to relate to them at their level. As a leader, you don't just give them instructions, do this, do that. No, you relate to them using parameters they resonate with. I said, Steve, if I leave you like this, if I just give you instructions, you would not be equipped with the knowledge that helps you translate another person from ignorance to sanity. When confronted with similar situation, you don't just know what to do, but the knowledge behind that result you sustain. Let's go to the Bible since we are on this subject. Proverbs 3 verse 19. It says, honor the Lord your God with the first fruits of your crops. Okay, that's even my anchor scripture to this faith practice. No, you're missing the point. He said, with the first fruits, not the first crop, not the first seedling. It means your crop has gained stature and maturity such that it bears fruits. No crop, no seedling begins to bear fruit at the initial stages. Every single thing must be nurtured and effort was put in to get it to a point where it reproduces of its own kind. Do you see the lessons in that sentence, Steve? Honor the Lord your God with the first dividends of your business, not the capital, not the initial funding, the first fruits. Use this capital to do business. When you make profit, you can take a tenth, not from the net profit, but from the profit that is designated to you. Because you work for investors, so you're working for your shareholders. I don't want to get into business and the different variables, but basically if someone takes a stake in your company regarded as equity, you're basically working for him. Whenever you make a profit, you would subtract the percentage of his equity in that company. Does that make sense? For example, if your investor owns 20% of your company and you make 10 million in the first quarter, 20% of 10 million is allocated to your investors. You don't just tithe a tenth of the 10 million. That's not how it works. As basic as this sounds, I'm saving a lot of you financial stress, financial trauma. Some of you just get up and at the end of the month, emotionally, whatever is left in the drawer, whatever is left in the company's account, you emotionally sow 10% to the church of your desire. That's not how it works. And when your business begins to take the hit, begins to take the short end of that wrong decisions, you begin pointing fingers. Your salespeople are stealing from you, or your register, your accountant, you're going for an external audit. The real problem is what I share with you. You lack wisdom. You lack the understanding of how to tithe profitably. And we as Christians, we have this uncanny ability to try to emotionally manipulate the hand of God to our will. God, I gave you 10% of every single thing that proceeded from this business. Why are you watching it fail? The only way God shows you mercy is to orchestrate your path to this teaching. Then you gain wisdom. Because if God accepts your request, you would mentor people after your error. As basic and as nonchalant as I put it, we as humans gravitate towards results. When people see you making significant progress, what is the secret? And you create a progressive generation of individuals in error. You see, error is so destructive that even the victim might not be aware of what is plaguing him. And sincerely, he would mentor disciples, create people after that error, and those people in turn will teach it to another set of people. So an error from one individual has created a ripple effect across that circumference. Not just that circumference, because now we live in the age of the internet where information has been democratized. I'm sitting here from Africa and I'm changing and influencing the minds of so many people, causing a progressive generation, disciples mentored in error with stature. So you get the point. So this is how Steve would have messed up his investment career. One thing about failed investment, they don't just let you go. They flag down your portfolio or your CV such that it becomes difficult to get access to credit. When someone is investing in you, the percentage becomes significantly higher when your portfolio has been flagged down because whenever the lender or any borrowing platform gives you money, they charge you at a percentage which they deem fit for the risk you pose to them. We as humans understand that whenever you lend someone money down to your day-to-day life, perhaps you don't collect interest, but in this case, since there's no collateral, you would only lease according to the amount you're willing to lose. So in the event he doesn't pay back, you're not bothered. Extrapolating it to an institutional domain, the percentage increases because you are more riskier to borrow money. He would have created a lot of problems in his investment career. He would have limited his access to credit and he would go back in prayer, blaming demons, blaming his elders in the village, blaming curses, whereas the real problem was the lack of this knowledge. You see how one decision, one absence of understanding can keep someone indefinitely in a situation and is pointing fingers at the wrong places. So I believe you've gotten value from this. And as always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.